So do you think it's dangerous that someone like Andrew Tate is in the position that he's in, influences people's lives?
No, because we're talking about Andrew Tate because it's on social media that he's been arrested, but there's various businessmen that we don't know their names who are fucking creeps. There's various Weinstein. We know about Harvey Weinstein. There's hundreds of Weinsteins. There's hundreds of people in positions of power that are weirdos and creeps and perverts and rapists and all the rest of it. We just don't know who they are, and we sit there and go, "Oh, I want to be that guy." We don't know anything about him. Do you know what I'm saying? For every Mason Greenwood that gets arrested and an audio tape gets leaked, there's 100 other guys that we don't know about. Do you know what I mean? We have a conversation about Partey, we don't know, it's not definitive. We have a conversation about Loic Remy, we don't know. Mendy, we don't know about any of this stuff. Do you know what I mean? So Andrew Tate is front and centre, but Andrew Tate's not the problem, he's a symptom. Do you know what I mean? The problem is people generally not being happy in their own lives. There shouldn't be another person. You might be people you look to for some form of inspiration here and there, but there shouldn't be there's no fitness guy that you follow and you like his shape enough to know that he's been a rapist. This isn't Tate, this is just an extreme example. Do you know what I mean? But to know that he's been a rapist of underage girls and go, well, his bicep curls are great.
No,
so,
to be
honest, like, you would happly cut that person off and go,
absolutely.
Okay,
like even Will Smith, like I used to watch a ton of his motivational videos and like I found him like quite a guy that I looked up to.
Yeah.
As soon as that incident happened where he slapped the who did he slap again? Chris Rock at the Oscars, I was a bit like, I just kind of tainted my view on him a little bit. Like now when I listen to some of his words and like the messages he's trying to send, I'm like, well, like I don't know, it just kind of tainted it. And and it's like the message doesn't hit as well because he doesn't. In my mind, after listening to all the content that I did about him, I painted him to be this like noble, sort of above
reproach,
above average, just kind of like this guy that was just like someone who stands out above the rest. And like after seeing him hit someone, like I know it could be an accident or a mistake, and it's not as bad as like the charges that Tate's going under, but it still tainted my view on him. I don't think I've watched the Will Smith. I had his book. I haven't finished it now. Like I just I know it sounds almost petty, but it did kind of just taint. Like I'm like, why am I reading this trying to get this message?
For me, my first reaction was that's ridiculous. But it depends on the relationship you feel that you have with that person. Do you mean I don't know how my image of 50 Cent would be tarnished if I found out that his mum was never killed and he never got shot 9 times. That might change a lot of things for the way that I look at 50 Cent. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the relationship that I felt that I've built with. I'm buying into an image, or I'm buying into a person that isn't real. We see this in this fitness industry a lot with photoshopping and all the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? You're buying into something that doesn't actually exist. And it goes to another conversation we previously had where people are willing to live in their lie. Do you know what I mean? People want to be happy. So if people are striving for something that isn't real, when people, like in the movie Inception, when they go into the machine,
I've watched it. I know, I've had this chat with like loads of people, they've already cussed me about it. You're just added to the list. Just added to the list. I know, it's something I need to watch.
Okay. But okay, let's use The Matrix. Seen The Matrix?
Yeah, I've seen The Matrix.
The people in The Matrix know that they're going into the Matrix, but they're choosing to. They're choosing they're choosing the pill that makes them go and live in the ignorance. Do you know what I mean? They want to. We laugh about women a lot doing this with dates and certain guys or whatever, but they want to be lied to. They want this. I was going to say another movie, but you're not seeing that either. Prestige. But you want to be like. Do you know what I mean? You haven't seen The Prestige, have you? It's fine. It's fine.
I would have defended myself. I saw it.
It's okay. But like, there's a little monologue. It's about 2 magicians, and there's a little monologue that Michael Caine does at the beginning and the end of the movie. And he says every great magic trick has 3 parts, right? And I can't remember them all, and I'm going to butcher it and attack me in the comments. But he basically says there's the trick, and then there's the turn, and then there's the prestige. And but he says, while he's explaining, he says, obviously it's Michael Caine way, it sounds cool. But he says, he basically says, you don't see the trick because you're not really looking. Do you know what I mean? You want to be, and then it's like alongside says fooled, but you want to be fooled. You want to be like, I want to believe that 50 Cent is this, and they want to believe that Tate is this, and you want to believe that Will Smith is this. Do you mean? Realistically, Will Smith gets up miserable most days because that's just fucking life. But you want to believe that there's someone out there that gets up who's super positive and bubbly because you want to. If he lives it, it's possible for you to live it. And maybe the truth is it's not possible for you to live it, and we're all going to be dead. But you don't want to live in that world. You want to live in this world. Do you know what I mean? And Will Smith is not, apart from Chris Rock, he's not dangerous to anyone.
Chris Rock might disagree.
But some of these guys are, again, this isn't necessarily Tate, but some people are really, really dangerous. But people will still buy into them. because that's the life they want to live.
Yeah, I think that. Sorry, when you mentioned that comment by the magician, it just reminded me of a trick. Like I was in Barcelona once, and like a magician came to our table. You know those guys that just like
the street magician guy.
Yeah, they do, but they want money,
Yeah,
so they just start performing in front of you, and you have no real say of being like, nah, like fuck off. They just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, he did one trick that was like all about that kind of illusion where you're painting. It's just like misdirection, where like basically he had like a black mark that he put on your like the inside of your palm, and then he said a bunch of shit and did a bunch of shit that made you just completely forget about your hand. But then he grabs your hand and turns it over, and he's obviously got like the black ink on his hand, and he's put it on the other side of your palm, and then he's basically told you to look down, and now you see the dot basically transform, but you didn't realise it when he was talking. So like the whole reason I was talking about that whole kind of misdirection is that it kind of
it's social media misdirection.
Yeah, it's
100%.
like people want the lifestyle that Tate's talking about. People want the Bugatti. They want the cigars and the party lifestyle and get all the girls, blah blah. But like he's misdirecting potentially how that money's come about. And if you knew the full facts, and we don't know if it is true that it's come from human trafficking and that's a part of how he's got his money, I think you would look differently on that. You wouldn't want to be where he is.
Well, that's the thing. You would hope that people would. But some people are saying they wouldn't. They don't care. He's funny and motivational.
And that's where it could be dangerous.
That's why I said at the beginning of this topic. That's where it's dangerous.
That is where it's dangerous, because that is nuts. That people just overlook that.
Imagine I said Harvey Weinstein's raped a bunch of women, but his movies are very good. What kind of rationale is that?
Yeah, it's just
that's crazy.
That's just mad.
But this happens all the time. It even happened with Marcus Rashford, where he was telling his motivational story, and some Conservative MP who was being a dick. He was telling his story about how there was no water in his house growing up. And I don't even remember this, but the Conservative MP tweeted him saying, in England, it's illegal to cut off houses' water. Your water was never cut off. That's not true. And people defend it. I can't stand the Conservatives, but people defended Marcus Rashford because they like him, they like the story he's telling, and they want his story to be true, even though it can't be true because they can't cut off your water. It's illegal. But he never got pulled up on that. He never had to answer to that because people jumped to his defence to attack the woman. Do you know what I mean? And so lots of these conversations, lots of these things just get swept
under the rug. About,
because there's a status quo where you want the person, you want this story to be true.
And that's but like how with a crime that serious, how do you just with like rape or something like that? He raped someone, but like it's just that's not.
Everyone's got a different level of value.
But the person who like acknowledges that it was just rape, like is that not? I don't know what the term would be, but psychopathic or I don't know.
Yeah, sociopathic for sure. Yeah, the complete lack of empathy.
Yeah. Just. Anyway, like it's just because I imagine that guy or girl, whoever it was, had a kid. Would they like it if their kid was the one that was trafficked or raped or?